Yeah, we're rolling. Is that light's red? I get so nervous because it's like my first, and it's like, okay, making sure that I'm recording, and then making sure that my camera's rolling. But
Could you imagine recording all of this and then it's like literally not recording?
then they're like, oh yeah, we can rely on him to shoot our wedding.
I'd still pay you to do more.
Hey, sorry, I wasn't recording. I just only brought one camera to your wedding.
Worst videographer ever.
Worst videographer ever. I guess I'll have to just stick to photography.
Okay, you do photo and video.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
You thrive at both, I want to say. Okay.
Well, okay. You just won an award. Tell the world you just won. Like what you can have that lower. You can have it closer. Whatever. You can adjust. You know, it goes like this: up, down, forward,
actually,
closer.
This kind of feels more comfortable, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Do you want me to face you or do you want me to face this?
I mean, it could be sit back. You know, look at the camera. You can sit back and do what you want. You know, sorry guys. This is our first episode, so.
I actually feel like this is good for you to see the real life of like
a
podcast.
Put it closer to you. There you go.
Real life podcast.
Yeah, there. See, you can hear your voice better.
I can. That's so crazy. I'm like, whoa. Oh my gosh. Okay. Award that Brandi Jane Event just won is Best Wedding Planner in Orange County. And thank you. It is so crazy. I still feel like I'm like not realizing that happened. Like, we just celebrated with the team this last weekend. Like, every day I'm still getting text messages. It's unbelievable, actually. Like, actually. Who am I? Somebody tell me. I am just like in awe and so grateful. Yeah.
Okay, so Brandi Jane Events, plug was your Instagram. What's your Instagram name?
What's my Instagram name?
Yeah.
Brandi with an I, Jane Events with an S.
And then this is the Wedding Green Room podcast, first episode ever.
I feel so honored to be your first guest. Let me tell you.
She has the best personality for this, so she could just take over this.
No, you're like the pilot. I'll be the co-pilot.
Sounds good. You're welcome here every week.
Okay, you're so sweet. Also, you just won an award, so why are you not talking about that?
At West Imagery. Yeah, Loverly said, what is it, 2024 best videographers amongst so many amazing videographers. Yeah, it's just it's crazy. You last week you won the award for best planners, and then I won last week as well. Best, two separate contests or award.
Yeah, or like
awards,
platforms. Yeah,
platforms, and it was just crazy. We're like, okay, we're gonna do this podcast, and then we like both win these awards, and we're like, let's.
Big deal.
It's like it's such a perfect like kickoff.
Yeah, it really is.
You know?
I'm really, really happy for you. And also, background between us is we started in the industry at the same time.
Like 6.5 years ago.
Yeah, and now to see like where we both are today and winning awards, doing podcasts, we're thriving.
Wild.
Fun. We're having so much fun. I'm having so much fun. And we're drinking coffee.
Yeah, I'm highly caffeinated.
Me too.
Oh my gosh.
I got my party pony today. We're ready. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, this is our first episode. The whole point of this episode is just entertainment, like just wedding vendors. It could have couples on here before their wedding. We can have couples after their wedding, whether or not that I shot your wedding or you even worked with me. Any wedding vendors, calling in. We'll have a segment at the end where we'll have people anonymously call in or even leave voicemails wherever it evolves, but they'll leave their insane wedding stories that, they can't identify themselves because it's some of these stories that I've heard are just so insane. But yeah, we have a caller at the end of this that has an insane story to tell us. But yeah, so jumping in to just starting everything, Brandi, just tell us about how you got started.
How long do you have? All day?
I'll give you 5 minutes.
Okay, I'll take 3 minutes of your time. Time is precious. Okay, we started back like when I was in junior college, I ended up in like a random wedding planning class because I needed it for an
They
elective.
have wedding planning classes in
Yeah,
college.
Orange Coast College. I needed credits for extra, those stupid credits you have to take to graduate. And I thought, okay, I'll just take this wedding planning class. And I went into it. I actually failed out of it, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. Everybody always cracks up at that. But yeah, I failed out of it. Also, my thingies are moving.
Your thingies. Wearing the headphones are a must here. So when you come
Hear me?
to this podcast, maybe putting your hair up in a ponytail might not be a good idea.
Because look, now I'm just going to have it like this, whatever. Either way, I failed out of wedding planning, like the class at OCC. And then I decided, okay, I actually really like this. This is kind of fun. And then graduated, went to Cal Poly Pomona for catering management. And I started as an intern at the waterfront in Huntington. I did like a cute little, let me just bop in as like a little kid, kind of. I felt very young in the industry. And then from there, I started as a catering manager. And then I didn't like sitting behind a desk. I didn't like a chair and like being told I have to like not move. So I really liked my couples and decided maybe I'll go into wedding planning. So started wedding planning with another planner here in Orange County. And then in 2020, believe it or not, I launched my own business. I went through some like crazy personal life stuff. And I thought, I'm going to start my own company. Like, why not? And then here I am 4 years later.
That'll be easy. Life will be so much better. You start your own company. No
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. No stress, I find myself back behind a desk now, but it's all fun. I actually really love it. So,
And you could see how much you love it when you work weddings. Your vibe is just like you're a ball of energy, positivity.
yeah.
You're like the cheerleader.
Yeah.
You exude happiness.
Thank you.
So that's what you want, people.
That is what you want.
You want wedding planners that enjoy what they do, and you want them to be also like your hype person
Oh, yeah.
and just have just positivity. I mean, things can go, you could plan your ears off, but then somebody shows up late, we're missing something, like, all these things that could go wrong.
Yeah. It's
And
inevitable.
it's inevitable. I mean, you can plan your ears off,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, you want somebody like this in your corner. And I think that's why, we are still doing what we're doing, and we're able to like thrive off of what we do because like our personalities that we bring to a wedding.
Yeah. It's a calming presence, but you're confident in your vendor team, right?
Yeah.
Like I want people to come to me and be like, that girl, I feel confident that she's just going to handle it.
Yeah.
But also, like you said, be the hype woman on the side. Thing with photo and video, though. You're stuck. This is what I tell all my clients. If you don't get anything else from this podcast, listen to this. You are stuck with your photo and video team all day. You're also stuck with me all day. We are asking you questions. We're in your, like, I'm going to the bathroom with my brides. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Helping them with their dress.
yeah, like we do not leave you, and we're in intimate moments. Like there's so much going on in your day. You need a good photo video team, and you need a good planner. 100%.
Yeah, and it's not like a lot of photo video people. I mean, I wouldn't say a lot, but I mean there are those out there that it's strictly like they view themselves as artists, but we're also in like the service industry.
Yeah.
So also keeping that in mind and making sure that you're making sure that
You're making sure. Yes.
that your client is having a good experience
Yeah.
and like serving their needs. And that's what like hospitality, like the service industry, events is all about.
Yeah.
Obviously like doing our craft our way, but also just making sure your clients are like having their needs met.
100%.
So yeah, I guess I have a couple questions here just because this is the first podcast, so it's not very organized just yet. It's not just coming to my brain straight off.
It's going well though.
But yeah, I mean, this is why I wanted you here for the first episode, instead of having somebody that's just sitting there staring at me like, what do you want?
Come on, Eric, ask me a question.
What do you want to talk about? So, like, how would you describe your, I guess we kind of just did, signature style.
Yeah.
It's just the personality you bring.
Yeah. I feel like words that kind of come to mind for our signature style or just how we plan is we're not like micromanagey. There's a lot of inquiry calls that I get on and they're like, oh, the planner said that this is what they do and they don't do anything else, or they try to control what the design looks like. I'm like, this is not my wedding day. It's your wedding day. So genuine is definitely a word that comes to mind. Like, I'm genuinely in your corner, your hype woman, whatever it is. It's your day. And if you want to dance, okay, this is actually funny. I tell most of my inquiry calls, if you want to dance on a table on your wedding day, I'm going to help you get up on the table. Like, if you don't want to cut the cake and I come to you and say it's cake cutting time, you don't want to do it, we're not going to cut the cake. Like, I am there for you, like, not for myself. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some planners will have their, like, I do this, I do this, I do this. And it's, I mean, obviously they're still like serving their client, but they're very strict on certain things that they do and don't do that I've met, which to each his own. Like, some people want that. Some people want, you know, different. Some people want somebody super laid back and just whatever.
True.
And, you know, I mean, there's something for everyone, but I think though that if you want to thrive, you have to have so many different aspects to your skill set.
Right, to be
flexible and to do so many, and like, you know how to bounce back if something goes wrong. I know, I feel like I've been kind of talking just to your eyes.
I'm like,
but
should I lower this thing?
I don't know.
I feel like you can see me better.
I don't know.
Better for
Your
guys.
posture's perfect. Mine's all slouchy.
I'm trying to get better.
Yeah. So I guess, I mean, this is like every single question is kind of like going right into like disaster management. I mean, like we said, like, you plan so much for a wedding day, something goes wrong. Like, the fact that you've done so many, I mean, we've seen it all. Like, right. I think in this last fall, I hit like my 300th wedding. So I was just like,
congratulations. That's a lot of weddings.
Patting myself on the back, you know? And then, it comes with like doing so many weddings that thank you, by the way. I'd say thank you.
It's a big deal. 300 weddings. You guys think about that.
Yeah. For the first couple of years, it was psycho because that's what I did full time. And it was like, my whole family was looking at me to provide, you know? So
right.
I'm just like, I'm going to do as many weddings as possible.
Yeah. Basically kill yourself.
Yeah. So
no sleeping.
I'm lucky to be here.
Living on Better Buzz coffee. I mean, seriously, that's probably what you did.
Shout out to Better Buzz. San Clemente.
How yummy. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you. She brought me this. First
podcast. I'm so excited for him. Talking about disaster weddings, I actually thought of a story. Just like how you could plan so much and then you get to the day of and nothing goes according to like
we have those.
The timeline. Yeah.
We still have some of them.
Stressful. Exactly.
It's raining all day.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's exactly. Weather, you have no control.
Windy. Yeah. Blows everything.
Yeah.
Blows all the table settings.
Exactly. I was in Palm Springs. I'm an Orange County wedding planner. We don't have sandstorms. We don't have like these crazy wind gusts, you know?
Rare.
It is very
extremely rare.
Right. I remember just being in Palm Springs, though, thinking, oh my gosh, Mother Nature's taking over. And we have this massive 250-person wedding out on a golf course lawn. And gusts of sandstorms just keep coming in. And I see the little rental guys putting up, you know, the lighting and this massive production's underway. And I just see them hunkering down because the sandstorm is so bad. And I'm like, okay, everything we planned out the window. Like, forget it. Like, it doesn't matter what I do. I can't stop this. The water glasses were being picked up and thrown across the lawn. I'm like, okay, we can't do this.
So what happened?
We shut down the wedding. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody went home. I actually called the bride's mom basically crying because it was just like so devastating to me. And I knew how devastating it would be to the bride.
Yeah.
But we moved everything inside. It was like all hands on deck. It didn't matter who you were, what rental company.
That happens, moving things inside. And so little tip for, you know, future wedding clients or anybody out there listening that's looking to get married, check and see if your venue has an indoor option.
100% ask about that.
Or you have to be okay with Mother Nature doing her thing. If you have a fully outdoor and you're just, like, you know, Joshua Tree weddings, there might be an indoor option, but it's going to be very tight. It's like a house. Yeah, you know, we have these properties out there that are small And it's like, then all of a sudden it just feels like a house rager.
Yeah.
Everyone like crammed inside. So just keep that in mind, people.
Because there's no other option, you know? Also, beware of rattlesnakes in Joshua Tree.
Oh yeah.
That,
I mean,
that's terrifying.
and cactuses. I've
Falling into them.
I fell into a cactus while filming, backed into one. And the
No.
bride's mom was a doctor and she was pulling needles out of my back.
Oh my gosh.
I backed into it and I was like, oh. And then she was just like, no, I got you. And then she was like, they've like fully like peeled my shirt back, and I'm just like, oh.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so ask for the backup plan at your venue and ask if there's a doctor on site. Because otherwise, not good.
Yeah, I mean, people do fall. Sometimes I had a groom once that the groomsmen were like, jump off this rock. And then he was like, okay. And he jumps off, hits his like shin, and he's wearing like tan. His whole like.
This is the groom?
Yeah, the groom. His suit was tan, and he hit his knee or hit his shin on the rock, and it's just like fully just like blood, and he got like blood on his like pants.
People.
So don't listen to your groomsmen. Don't do any daring tricks or moves off.
Yeah,
stuff on your wedding day.
What is the word I'm looking for? Like invincible? You're not invincible just because you're the groom on your wedding day. Like
alcohol definitely. If you do that before your ceremony, that can definitely make you feel like you're
dumb.
Some people, it's like you're really nervous before your ceremony, and people are like, "Here, have a shot." And I'm guilty of like, "Hey, okay, everybody get together." He goes like, "Let's pour yourself you can pour yourself water,
Hydrate on your wedding day.
Make it orange juice. Everybody cheers orange juice or coffee.
Come on, anything.
But
you gotta be able to get through the ceremony and be in one piece,
Yeah. But I always just okay, make sure that they're not overdoing it. I'm just like, okay, guys, I'll even tell groomsmen okay, but I don't want to be like a vibe killer, but I obviously see if the groomsmen are pushing too much on a groom. I'll be like, let's just get him to his ceremony,
I love that you do that and that you're aware of that.
Yeah.
I really do, because
I've seen
some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I was laughing just now when you said something about the groomsmen, because I had a set of groomsmen that got my groom so drunk that it was before the ceremony and he was passed out in the reception space, and I had to go literally wake him up and say, hey, we got a wedding happening and you're the groom, you got to get up. But yeah, I mean, people go so hard during the day. They don't eat. So much is going on. They want to party. It's
yeah, that's the biggest thing. People forget to eat. I mean, you just running on adrenaline, are you one of those wedding planners that don't eat all day?
I try.
Other wedding planner friends that are like, I'm just not going to eat. I'm not going to sit down. I was just eat with me.
Yeah.
When we get our vendor meals, I'm like, please sit down.
I'm not trying to die at your wedding. So no, I eat.
Yeah.
I have specific snacks that I bring with me.
Yeah, same.
Do you want to hear my ritual of what I do on a wedding day? Because
sure.
I can't believe I'm sharing this, but only the people closest to me know this. I go to Dunkin' Donuts or Dutch Bro Coffee every single wedding day, and I get a coffee. I have to drink it with a straw because I'm just weird.
Yeah, that's my wife. She's always have to drink coffee with a straw.
It's better. It's better for your teeth. It's just better. And then I always get a donut, and then I have peanut butter M&Ms and peanut butter pretzels with me every wedding. It's my snack. So if I'm eating something and you're like, what are you doing? I just have to. The M&Ms give me the sugar I need.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I'm getting protein from the peanut butter from the pretzels. I don't really know. And then, but it keeps me going. That's a good snack.
I'll make myself an espresso right after ceremony.
Yeah.
I'm usually
downing it.
I'm just getting super caffeinated. It's got the vanilla syrup in there for the sugar.
Smart.
And so I'm caffeine and sugar, and I'm just ready to go. By the family photos, I'm like, let's go. And
running circles around people.
Yeah, because it's you're wrangling family members. You got to be you can't just be okay, guys.
That has to probably be the hardest thing on your day for a wedding, wrangling the family members.
Yeah.
I try to run during that.
Usually, that's why I like doing family photos before ceremony, because everyone's just chill.
Yeah.
They're just they're there. There's it's just usually the family that's there, immediate family.
Right.
After the ceremony, people are like, let's party,
They're ready for cocktail hour.
Yeah, I mean, especially if the drinks are coming out, even the direct, immediate, brothers, sisters, parents can even wander off. So,
Good point.
Even if you tell them, even if Brandy's there, like, okay, guys, don't go anywhere. And they're like, let me just get a drink real quick.
Yeah, exactly. You can't pull them out of the line at the bar. They do not want to leave. I'm like, Uncle Charlie, you must come with me. I will get you a cocktail if you come
Uncle
with me.
Charlie ain't going to be in any wedding photos.
No, he's not. He's at the bar and not leaving for sure. Family photos.
Gosh.
Gosh.
Oh, gosh, it's 1:41. Let me just text the person that was going to call in.
I'm so excited for this story.
Call you in. Real quick, I just want to ask you advice.
What kind of advice do you want, Eric?
Let's see. What did I write down?
Do you want advice on like how to not lose your mind on wedding day, or
What, like DIY people, like what do you advise against doing yourself, at least when it comes to wedding planning, like no matter how many like Pinterest perfect, because you even said like if people have ideas, there's a fly. I'm about to inhale a fruit fly, I think. Like you say you're in their corner as far as working with them, but yeah, like what's your advice for people like that either think they want to do it all themselves or have you do all the like all encompassing?
Okay, I actually have so many opinions about this because I'm like I know, I'm like, listen up, brides, if you're out there. Even grooms, because this year is probably the first year that I've had a lot of grooms very heavily involved in weddings.
Yeah.
They have opinions. They're coming to meetings. I'm like, this is kind of fun. My advice, though, is to not do your own centerpieces. I think that people think, oh, I can just go to Trader Joe's or I can, cut costs on doing that. And as much as it's like a great idea, it's a bad idea because
Because you suck.
Well, I, even as creative as I am in doing weddings, making a centerpiece is hard.
Yeah.
It's not just like here's a vase and throw some stuff in there. It's like the water involved. I mean, the placement, at the end of the night, who's going to take them? You're probably not going to want to go collect centerpieces. And
there's just so much coordinating that goes with that you don't want to have for your wedding day.
No, you really don't. So that's the one thing I would advise don't do. Because it will just save you a lot of stress or, just things in general. Because I'm a go-getter. I would rather plan my own wedding. If I wasn't a wedding planner, I'd still want to plan my own wedding. But you don't know what you don't know. So if you don't hire professionals to help you, you are kind of putting your foot in your mouth and you're like going to get to the wedding day and realize, dang, I should have had somebody do this. For instance, talking about flowers and centerpieces, the arch at your ceremony, if you don't properly put that up, that thing's falling over.
Oh, yeah. That's why you definitely need people who know what they're doing.
You do. So
even the planners, they've seen it all. So they're like, okay, this is what you do.
Yeah, exactly. And we can advise you, get a florist. Like, please save money other places and get a florist. Like, seriously.
Yeah,
I don't want the arch to fall on you during the ceremony, which I've seen happen,
Yes, and speaking on flowers, it's like you can have a venue that's beautiful and you have like natural greenery and all that, but when you have an arch that's like built by yourself, it definitely looks usually like it's been built by yourself.
Right.
And it can make or break. You have this beautiful backdrop and then it's like this thing that they put together that's like fallen over or even gets blown away before the ceremony. So
oh my gosh,
that's where I
tied down with like chicken wire or something, and it's like you just see all of that in the ceremony.
Or I've seen copper pipe, like they're like, oh, I've seen this, like I'm making myself copper pipe, and I'm like looking at it, I'm like, I'll photograph it for you.
Yeah. Because you're like, so supportive. I'm like, get that out.
I'm like, I'll take a picture because it's the memory of what they did. They put together, proud of it. But at the end of the day, it's it's good to invest at least for your ceremony space at the bare minimum. Please. And then if you don't want centerpieces or whatever, but yeah, there's just so much
candles, because people think, oh, I'm just going to do candles. Do you know how much time and effort goes into putting the water for floating candles, or how much you put the candle inside the hurricane and then it melts all over the thing and it doesn't look how you want it to look anyway? There's so many downfalls of doing
I've seen all the planners just like always messing around with that, and then it's like they can't quickly like, okay, before you take pictures, let's light them all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then there's like it's hard to do, but
Yeah,
that's
don't
why
do
you let the
sacrifices.
team plan it all for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't try to have your mom or somebody do it that doesn't know what they're doing.
I actually just thought of a story.
Yeah. This is what this place is. This is what this
Because
podcast is
we're
for.
talking about ceremonies. Have you ever had anybody pass out at a wedding?
Like standing up.
Yeah. I was giggling on like the way here to do the podcast of just, things that go through your brain of like, what have we lived through on wedding
All
days?
your PTSD is just flashing before you're like.
Yeah. I was telling Eric too, you guys, it's like you have so much PTSD, it just kind of goes out the window because you're like, oh my gosh, I never want to relive that day. But I was reliving this day. The bride passed out during the groom's vows. Okay, fully passed out.
Fell on the ground.
Fully passed out.
Nobody caught her.
No one caught her. Well, her dad was in the front row, and by the time I got up to the front, I'm like, "Are you? Oh my gosh!" And she's fully passed out. I tell the dad, I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna go, get something to try to wake her up." And there was a water station with lemons and oranges, and I grabbed the lemons and oranges and I started peeling them underneath her nose, thinking the citrus would help. Honestly, it did help. So if you, to hack, make sure there's a
Lemons, peels.
Yeah, just to like crack them. Yeah. The citrus. I don't know. And while she's passed out, the dad is holding her head and his son is right there. And he asked me, well, if she doesn't wake up, do you just want to marry my son right now? He said that to me as his daughter is passed out. Okay. And I was like, what? No, what? It was so uncomfortable. I'm like,
ew.
Well, also, your daughter's passed out. And that's what you're thinking about is being married to your son.
A typical dad joke.
Wrong place, dude. Oh my gosh.
Such a dad joke. Such a dirty dad joke.
I was so uncomfortable. Oh my
gosh. I would. Yeah, when you get those inappropriate jokes when you're working, you're just like,
Yeah, what do you do with them?
You're just like,
you just laugh them off because it's like unbelievable.
or you just like a lot of times I'll just kind of banter back and forth and you don't know them like on a personal level, even though like I always interact with my couples like they're just my best friends.
Yeah.
But then it's just like something doesn't fly and you're just like, okay. I'll even just oopsie.
Or just
Speaking,
walk out of the room. Yes.
So I'm just
Do we have our call?
Yeah, so I'm gonna call
I'm so excited.
this person right now.
Okay.
Let's see if they pick up.
You won't even tell me who it is. Who is this person that's calling? Oh, we can't disclose.
We're not disclosing the location.
Oh my gosh.
The date.
Okay.
Anything. I want this to be fully anonymous.
Okay, I'm excited.
I just want to make sure am I okay. Let's see if the volume's up. This is wild.
Is it a male or a female calling?
It's a female.
Calling. Okay, female. There's a female calling.
Hello.
You are live.
How are you, Eric?
You are.
Hey, how's
good.
it going?
Good. You are live on the Wedding Green Room podcast. I'm sitting here.
You are so brave putting me live anywhere.
Yes. I mean, this is the first episode, so I feel like it's been.
Let me get you demonetized coming out of the gate. Awesome.
Demonetized. Straight out the gate.
I love it.
I got my wedding planner friend, Brandi Jane Events, here with me.
Hello.
Hi, Brandi.
Hi.
Yeah, so don't disclose who you are.
Yeah, I can't find out who you are. I'm so bummed about it,
But yeah, so you have a wild story. I heard some of it, but I don't know the full, all-encompassing. Because we kind of just segued into it, where we were talking about some of our stories that weren't so
fun,
insane.
I'm like nervous for this story for some reason. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I don't want to hype it up. I mean, I'm sure you've heard stuff, but yeah. So
yeah,
what you got?
So what I have. And this is what's funny is because this has not been my profession. I come from farming. Right? So I've only been wedding venue coordinating since 2020. And yeah, I did open all during COVID. So take with that. There's your demonetization. Awesome. So anyway, so that's really, but because I come from farming and I'm very structured, I'm like, I don't put out fires. I just don't give you matches. So when stuff happens, sometimes I feel like we get really crazy stuff that happens because all the little stuff goes okay. So it leaves room for really gnarly stuff.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Yep. So we had a couple. First off, like just so you kind of understand, our venue specifically is very it's all encompassing, like it's all in one area.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's in a hotel.
Getting ready, ceremony, reception, all in one spot.
Everything is kind of like in this, I mean, it's all in the same area. So it's easy for everybody to get to everything. And so there was a lot of other things that had happened that day that was interesting. And we try to tell people, please, especially for the photography's sake, please remain sober, at least through your wedding ceremony, because it's hard for the photographers to wipe out that dazed and confused look on your face while you're getting married.
Like glaze over their face.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so anyway, so we don't give them a lot of alcohol on site.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. Like we try to minimize it and say, hey, if you're going to do that, like this is what we are going to do for you, which is a little bit, but we're not going to give you any more. So what had happened was the groomsmen took that to heart and knew we meant business. So they got plastered before coming on site, before pictures. I mean, to the point they were having a hard time standing up.
Before they even got there. All right.
Before they even got there. Yeah. So we were just trying to do like, hey, let's sober up a little bit for the ceremony.
Yeah.
Well, they continued their partying up, and there's other things that happened, but I know we'll get to the coup d'etat at the end.
Oh my God.
So they did, these two individuals, they, like many of our couples, they have a kiddo between them already.
The bride and groom.
So,
yeah.
I kind of, just given the overall state of the entire wedding party, I was babysitting that child. That child was on my hip. So because that child was probably a year and a half old, maybe a year. So it was still like a baby.
Oh.
So I'm like coordinating a wedding with a 1-year-old. Now I have 6 kids, so it's not weird for me. So it was fine.
God.
But so I've got this baby on my hip because I'm taking care of it so mom and dad can have a good time.
What a trooper.
So apparently dad decides to have a really good time. And
the groom.
One of
Tell
my
me more.
Yeah.
Oh, no. So we're through, like we're basically to open dancing at the reception, right? We're through all the perfunctory things that, and all the celebratory things that we do.
You made it to reception dancing.
We made it, but I've still got the kiddo. He's super cute, whatever. And then one of my dear sweet staff members comes out to me. This kiddo's in high school, he's one of my bussers, comes out, the look on his face, and I know his family, so this is not something that would be normal for him to experience. And he's trying to tell me in a very nice way possible. He had been over in an area by the groom's room, the groom's suite. And apparently the groom was having sex with somebody that was not the woman he married earlier that afternoon.
What? Where did this go? What?
So I'm trying to calm my staff member down, and I'm like, okay, we have discretion, but come on, girl, like, we've got a girl code. How bad do we want to say something right now? How, I was like, oh my God.
My stomach hurts.
You're trying to like figure out, what do I do? Like who?
Right. What's the moral thing to do? What's the professional thing to do? What's the moral thing to do? And come on, I'm Gen X. So what's the throwdown, I'm going to beat your ass thing to do? So, because of course I'm team bride. Let's be honest. I'm team bride.
Yeah. I mean,
and so, I'm like, wow. Okay. Like, so, staff member, can you just go do a bathroom check for me? Cause I need to get you away from this scenario. So I walk out kind of away from the suites, and I'm entering like where the reception area is, because I'm trying to get a bead on the bride, on where the bride is.
Because you don't know where the bride is?
Like, yeah,
I
see her.
Was the bride sober or completely?
Much more sober. Yes. She was much more sober than anybody else at that wedding.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even drink, and I wanted to be a lot less sober than I was at that point. And so, like, I don't drink at all. So I was like, oh my gosh, maybe tonight is the night that I need a tequila.
That would have been the night to choose for sure.
Yeah. And so, so the bride is sitting there beelining for me. And I know she means business. And I'm like, maybe she's coming to get the baby. That would be good. Maybe she could get the baby and go with the baby.
Yeah, but then you're like inside. You're like, what do I say to her? What do I do?
Supposed to say? What am I supposed to say?
So
What am I supposed to do? Again, still. So she comes up to me and she asks me where the groom is.
We don't know.
And I'm like, And I'm like,
I know
right
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm suddenly
Nothing's happening.
Right? Nothing. And I'm like, I don't know. She looked at me. She's like, oh, we've been together for a year. I know you. You're lying. Where is he? Like she knows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, her gut is telling her.
Only a year though.
And
well, no, like you have been planning with her for a year. Or
I've been planning her wedding for a year.
Okay, but they've been together for how long? Like,
well, they have a
well, I don't know, like long enough to have this child in the house.
Holy cow! Okay, so now what do you tell her?
The fact that they have a kid makes the story go from like just funny to like
just like the weight.
Not funny.
Yeah,
I know. And let me tell you, we're not a DIY venue. Like you're sinking some money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You're investing in this place.
Oh,
yeah, you're investing in this really nice wedding.
Oh my gosh.
And so because it's wedding, it's the whole kit and caboodle.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah. And she looked at me and she's like, move aside, because I was kind of blocking the group, like I was kind of blocking her path. Because I'm like, okay, I can't have drama right now. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, you're like, what's gonna happen? Or is she gonna like murder him or like?
Yeah, 100%. And I've got a CCW, but I'm like, what do I need to do right now? So she's like, yeah. So she found it. She found it.
Wow.
She found them in the act.
In the act.
No,
like, I don't know exactly. I don't know what. I don't know the details, but he was in there. The other person was in there.
That's like the most trauma, like next to like finding your like, oh my gosh, on your wedding day, finding that person.
This is not real. This is not real. I'm sure she's.
My kid. Yeah. So she left.
She has witnesses to say that it is confirmed that the story is real.
The bride left the wedding?
Yes.
I don't blame her. I would have.
And she said, throw it all away. I don't want to keep it. Whatever. I'm like, the decor. She goes, I'm expletive.
Yeah, she's just pissed.
Yeah.
She should have flipped the table. I mean, my God.
Yeah.
Something crazy.
Yeah. So,
had a moment of.
She grabbed a couple of the bridesmaids and her baby, and that was the end of that.
Wow. Have you spoken to her since that wedding day?
Yeah, I talked to her the week after, and obviously the annulment was in place.
Wow.
Good for her.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was that. But it's messy. It's California, right?
Right.
So they've already established this, like, whatever. I don't know. I've been married for decades and decades, but you get that thing where it's like halvesies kind of thing, even if you cohabitate or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. They own a house together.
Wow.
Or did.
What in his right mind? I'm like literally trying to think. How drunk? You can't be that drunk. Even if you're that drunk, to do that on your wedding day.
Oh, we can be. Yeah. Yeah, people can be that drunk. I'm like, oh my gosh, because if they don't do it, like we wouldn't even serve them when they got to the thing because we knew. Do you know what I mean? Like my bartenders knew, and they're like, nope.
I mean, you're still getting all the way through reception.
I'm like, were you doing drugs as well when you were outside?
Yeah, this got to be a mix of. I don't know. I mean, alcohol is like, it's crazy drug for sure, but I don't know. I mean, there's
shook. I'm so shook.
It was so bad. And I'm like sitting there because I'm old, right? And so I'm like, who's your mother? Like,
where is your mother?
I mean,
where's your
half
mother?
the time at weddings, I'm like, who's your mother?
Oh
and I'm like, oh, your mother's here and she's just as bad as you are.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Sometimes you're like, oh my.
Yep.
That's true. Where is your mother? Goes through your head. That's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
And you'll know, like a lot of my staff that's been here a long time, they're like, when you say the wedding from hell, everybody looks at each other and goes, oh,
they know.
Like everybody's, it's that wedding. It's definitely that wedding.
I think
we've had some pretty crazy stuff happen, but that was the worst.
This has got to be the wildest story I've ever. I mean, I've heard like all the clothes, like, oh, the groom, he fell asleep, like passed out, like.
No. This is
I mean,
terrible.
I found people like naked out in like.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've
like
walked
the
in
landscaping.
on
Plenty of naked people for sure.
guests.
No, like 3:00 in the morning. Like I'm shutting the place down. I
What
need
are
to put
you
like
doing at 3
get
a.m.?
down on the street and like be outside my gate. So if
Stripped
something
down,
happens
laying
to
in the
you,
parking lot.
yeah, I don't have to like write an incident report on you. Just get outside my gates.
Just
Don't make me do paperwork.
Do this
Don't make me do
outside.
paperwork.
Yeah, off premise
Oh.
for sure.
Off premise, honey. Now your CHP's problem, not mine.
Yeah, not the wedding venue. Holy cow.
Well,
oh my gosh.
Thank you for letting us call you anonymous
Yes.
and
Yes,
sharing
anonymous. I like my name anonymous.
sharing your dirt. I know you have lots more. I will
more.
be calling you in the future because I've heard some other ones you mentioned, and
Yeah,
we got lots more.
times.
Just being wedding professionals for so long, we have lots of stories, but I can't share mine being
No.
here with people seeing who
We are.
we are.
Yes.
Yes.
But you can.
Yeah.
Anonymous.
I can.
So whoever wants to call in, you can use a voice changer if you want. You can you can give yourself an accent.
We're here for it.
We're here for it.
Yeah.
So thank you for.
Here's my thing. Yeah, here's my thing. If people are listening to you and they're saying, I wonder if they're talking about my wedding, maybe you should have rethought that wedding.
Yeah. You should have thought about that maybe in the act you were going to be on a podcast someday.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's cool couples, and then they have this crazy thing happen at their wedding or disaster, or they do something crazy. They could be the coolest people, but then all of a sudden they get super drunk or whatever, partake in other substances, and then you have the craziness that has happened. So
Yes, it is.
Anyway,
okay, guys, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Yep. Bye, guys. Have a great day.
You
All right,
too,
you
bye.
too. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, drunk people, whatever, been there, done that, heard it, seen it, whatever. What?
Yeah.
I'm just putting myself in that position as a planner. I'm sorry. And also, okay, I will say, you're so, like she was saying, she's like team bride. When you're planning a wedding, you're such an advocate for that bride because you're like,
I mean, you talk to the bride most.
oh yeah. I mean, you know them. They're
You establish like a
family.
relationship with them. It's like.
Yeah, I probably would have just gone ballistic. But although, what would I don't know what I would. I don't know.
It's like, yeah, you want to be discreet, but you don't want it to be like this. I don't know. I mean, at that point, it's just like maybe everybody should know about this. Maybe you get on the mic and be like, "Excuse me, everyone.
No sleeping with the groom tonight. What should we say?
What? Please refrain from
Having sex with the groom. It's not okay today on the wedding day
It's not okay any day,
or
but
ever. Thank you so much. That should not be an announcement.
yes, yeah, this is wild.
Okay, I'm gonna add that to my notes to have the MCs like announce that. Then.
Yeah.
I might. Just because people need to know.
MC says, "Okay, everyone, so please wait to get your food. We'll call your table, and then also just let you know, please don't have sex with the groom.
Yeah, thank you.
Refrain.
Yeah.
I know you really want to. You've been holding it back, but wait in line for your meals, and then also don't have sex with the groom."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I truly wasn't expecting that.
I would have been in more shock if I didn't already know. I mean, the bits and details, some of it, like the setup and everything, I didn't know. But when I first heard it, I was like,
wow.
I mean, this can't be real. But other people that she was working with were all like, yeah, this is what's going down right now.
That is so scary. So check your grooms before you marry them. Or check your brides too.
Yeah.
Brides could be just as crazy.
Yeah, vice versa.
You never know. Wow. Well, thank you for that story. That really disturbed me.
I don't. Okay,
very disturbed.
we just. I don't want to end on. We're trying to promote.
Can we have a happy
love?
story?
We're promoting love. Okay,
And
we are
happiness.
promoting good relationships.
Yes.
We are promoting. We're gonna end. We gotta end with something that's not.
Like literally.
Think twice about getting married. We gotta end with something better. No, I mean to wrap that up though and put a bow on top. Working with people that you can just tell they're so in love with each other,
Yeah.
and they're so like perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I often will be shooting their first look,
Yeah.
their ceremony, and they're saying their vows, and I'm like taking the pictures,
sobbing.
and I'm like, oh my God.
Eric is crying at your wedding.
Yeah, and I'm like,
for sure.
I'm like, and they're just like, who's that photographer? Whack, or the videographer's weirdo. Like, I'm just like sitting there like sobbing.
It's the sweetest moments ever.
Yeah, these are like core memories for people.
Yeah.
And to see them like, no guards.
Yeah.
Everything, they're just in there. And that's why I always tell my couples, like during their ceremony, like be in the moment on like you can say hi to everyone, just soak that in. I mean, ceremony's gonna be 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And just soak that moment in because it's so special.
It is. You'll never forget those moments. And like you're saying, we get to be a part of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just had a wedding this last weekend where the couple was so in love that I was like, wow, like such an inspiration, of like
goals,
what marriage is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because we see so many weddings that it's all about the show and not about the marriage. And it's not about the flowers or anything. It's like you're marrying somebody. It's a big deal for the rest of your life, hopefully. Right. So yeah, I love those days and I love those couples. They're very,
it keeps us going.
It keeps us going for
because
sure.
Because you'll leave a wedding and be like, man, like that was so much fun.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
They were just nothing but good vibes. They were having such a good time.
Yeah.
Their family is awesome. Their friends are so cool. Yeah. Immediately, all their friends are just like making you feel a part of the circle.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Inviting you into all the different aspects of the day.
Yeah, you have those weddings that are just like, this was like the best. These are one of the best. And that's what keeps you going. Like, you're just like, you even think back, they're like, man, that was so good.
Yeah.
And then, you do have those ones that are like, they may not be bad, but they're just a lot of work. And they're just, I guess it's kind of like a bad memory because it was so hard, even though the couple is really cool.
Yeah.
But there's just, it's like either like this massive wedding and things are just going crazy. But yeah,
very
so
true. Wow.
Any parting words? I think that was it. I think that was good.
That was really good.
Ending on a.
Thank you for having me. That's what I want to say. This is so cool. I love this.
You're coming back.
Yeah, I'm coming back.
It's always like
this is not the last time.
Every podcast that launches and they got their first guest, it's always that person's like always coming back. So
yeah, you guys are stuck with me. I'll come back with some stories that are very sweet.
Yeah, and then you can call in anonymously when we'll just like, you can have an accent or a voice changer.
Yeah, because then I can really share the inside scoop of Brandi Jane Events. I'm just kidding. We have the best couple.
Yeah.
Anyway, but really, thank you. This is so cool because you guys get to listen and like hear behind the scenes. Like, that is so cool.
Yeah, this is the wedding. That's why the name of the podcast is the Wedding Green Room. So it's like our backstage. We're just talking, just shooting it.
I love it.
Entertainment. Yeah. So this was all it's about. Just like, I mean, obviously we're going to throw tips in there and just talk about, everything that we do, but also like entertainment factor of having people call in. Yeah. And like, there will be like some entrepreneurial stuff in there, but I want to steer away from it to being like heavy on like photography gear, video gear, or like specifically like breaking down, like, here's how to plan a wedding.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just mainly just to make you laugh, enjoy, and
make you laugh or make your stomach hurt. I don't know.
Yeah, or just hear these stories and be like, I'm never getting married, or not having a big wedding. You're having a smaller one, or you hear these stories and be like, that sounds like the most amazing thing ever. Yeah. Like, seems like the biggest party of the lifetime.
Exactly, which it is. If it's done right, it's the biggest and best day of your life.
Yeah.
So
thank
you.
Signing off.
Bye.